Well, g'day curd nerds. Welcome to another cheese making tutorial. This one is Crowdie. Now, Crowdie is a traditional Scottish cheese, also known as the crying cheese. And I found the reason it's called the crying cheese occasionally is because it's made when babies are born. So there you go, there's a bit of traditional Scottish something that you probably never heard of before. Anyway, you will find that this is one of the most simple cheeses to make. In fact, it's very similar to my sweet ricotta recipe where I use whole milk. And it's simply curdled by using lemon juice. And I happen to have a few lemons on the tree, so yep, that's what I did. So check out how I made Crowdie. So the ingredients for Crowdie is 1.5 litres or 1.5 quarts of whole cow's milk, a quarter cup or 60 mils of lemon juice, double cream, some salt and pepper to taste, and some fresh garden herbs. I used parsley, thyme, rosemary, and some garlic chives. So let's go gather some fresh herbs for the Crowdie. See what I can find here. Oh, we've got some Italian parsley here. That'll be nice. A little bit of that. That'll do. I don't think we'll use any rosemary because, oh, maybe the fresh tips. Let's get some tips. One tip there. Because usually they're too woody, so alright, that'll do. What have we got along here? Have I got any oregano? No, they're all mints and lemon balm, and they're just coming back for summer, so nope, no joy there. We've got a mess. Alright, let's... Oh, and there's a Chookie. No, we don't want her in the Crowdie, do we, Chookie? Isn't that right, Mrs. Potts? Say hello. No? Alright, don't then. Oh, we've got some thyme here. This will do. A little bit of thyme. It's been here for so many years. Keeps coming back. So I got some fresh garden herbs for the Crowdie. That'll be good. So I've got my parsley, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of rosemary. I don't want to overpower the cheese, but we'll put that in there, shall we? Just finely chop it up. You can see I'm no chef, but it'll do. Perfect. So if you've got lemons, then obviously you can squeeze them yourself, or you can just use that pre-made lemon juice you get in a squirty bottle. I actually did use some because I only had one of these left, and I had to put some more lemon juice in my Crowdie. So once that's all cleaned up, pour the milk into a large saucepan. It's not a lot of milk, so you won't need a very big saucepan, of course. Now heat the milk up to about 23 degrees Celsius or 73.4 Fahrenheit, and then you can add in the lemon juice. Now we add it in early into the Crowdie because we want the curd to be very soft and creamy. So on a low heat on the stove, you can directly heat this up. We're going to bring the milk to 80 Celsius or 176 Fahrenheit, and we're going to stir it continuously to avoid burning. There we go, slowly heating. Now you can see it's starting to curdle. You can see on the spoon there, little bits of curds. I didn't think it was going to totally curdle, but eventually it did, which is good. The whey is still cloudy, which is good, and the curds and whey have separated at about 80 degrees Celsius. So turn the heat off, pop the lid on and allow it to cool down. And that way it will then combine together and the curds and whey will separate properly. So it's best not to pour it into your butter muslin at this stage. It's too weak a curd, too fine, I found, so letting it cool down will really help it when it drains. So about 3 hours later, it's cool enough to ladle into your colander that's been lined with butter muslin. And just ladle that out. Don't pour it through because it'll fracture the curds. They're very delicate little things. So just ladle that out. There we go. We're nearly at the end. You probably pull that out. There we go. He did. He's pretty good. So you can see there the texture's really nice. It's fine. And we're going to let that drain in the butter muslin just like that in the colander for 3 hours. So, where did I get the recipe from? Was a good question because I've been trying to find one for quite a while. I got it from a lady called Angie who has a YouTube channel called The Wee Larder, and she's Scottish, of course, so I asked her if I could use her recipe to make Crowdie, and there was no problem at all, so she gladly gave me permission to use that. Now, I've also been told by Angie that you should serve Crowdie on oatcakes. Now, I didn't have any porridge oats in the cupboard, so I couldn't make any oatcakes, so yeah, we're going to try them on crackers. So don't go anywhere, just wait a sec because I've just made oatcakes. So let me just quickly show you how I made oatcakes to go with this Crowdie. So the ingredients for oatcakes is 450 grams or 1 pound of oatmeal, 1 tablespoon of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of sodium bicarbonate, 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt or table salt, and some boiling water. So first of all, we're going to add the dry ingredients, the bicarb and the salt, to the oats. Now these oats, I didn't have any porridge oats, but what I did have was some rolled oats. So I blitzed them in the food processor and we had oatmeal. So add in the bicarb to your oatmeal. And then add in your salt. And then we're going to add in our melted butter. So 1 tablespoon, that's 20 millilitres, or sorry, 15 millilitres. Okay, so give that a stir and combine that through. Now add enough boiling water to make a stiff dough. So you do this in batches just to make sure that you haven't made it too gluggy. Because everybody knows what porridge looks like. We don't want it looking like porridge, we want it looking like a dough. So there we go, I've combined it into a ball, absolutely lovely. So I'm just going to flour the board and roll the dough out to 1/2 centimetre or 1/4 inch thick. Now my first attempt didn't work, I had to put more flour down, and then we did it properly. There we go, trying to hold it all together. Okay, so you just get a big bowl and you cut a circle out. This is the traditional look of oatcakes. And make sure that doesn't stick, and then we cut it in quarters. There we are, lovely. So to a frying pan, we've put a little bit of butter in there, and we're going to cook until they're golden brown on both sides. sizzling away. Doesn't that look lovely? There we go. Just be careful when you turn them over. They don't stay together that well. But once they're brown, they stay together a lot better. So I turned them a few times. And once I thought they were brown enough, we just keep turning them, obviously. And then we transfer them to a baking tray with a bit of greaseproof paper on top. I'm going to pop that into the oven. And we're going to bake that at 180 degrees Celsius or 356 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. This just dries them out, takes any moisture out and hardens them up. Now, with the leftover dough, I made lots of wee oatcakes. There we go, lots of little ones. Very nice. This is the kind of thing you get in the packet in Scotland, so I've been led to believe. So just so I don't waste anything, I just rolled the dough out again, made some more wee oatcakes, and did a couple more, and then one final little oatcake. There we go. And my chook, or chicken, got the rest of that. So, once again, same thing, just a bit of butter in the frying pan, and then brown them on both sides, and then pop them in the oven. So quick and simple. Probably took me about an hour to make, or 20 oatcakes, easy. There we go, look at those, look golden brown. Pop those onto the tray and then into the oven. I had so many I had to do them in 2 batches, but once they're baked, we cool them on a rack. There's the second batch there. Lovely. Now, I forgot the garlic chives in the herb mix the first time round, so I went out to the garden, found some that the chookie hadn't eaten, and cut them up. Washed them first, of course, and then cut them up and put them into my mix. Easy peasy with scissors. So once the Crowdie's been drained, we just turn that into a bowl, and then we season that to taste. So we put in our herbs, we season it with the salt and pepper, and we give it a good mix through, basically. Now, after I stirred it, I tasted it, you know, like seasoned to taste. So taste a little bit, see if it's got enough seasoning, taste a little bit more. Now, I knew that the herbs would impart their flavour a lot stronger if I left it overnight. So that's the best thing to do. Now, it was a little bit dry, just a tad, so I added a little bit of double cream to the Crowdie. Probably about a tablespoon there. And then stirred that through. Gave a little bit more creamy texture. And I tasted it again. I thought, oh, a little bit more dry, so a little bit more cream. And that was it. That's all we needed. And it tasted really nice. So to let it infuse, just put some cling wrap over the top and leave it in the fridge overnight. And there they are, served on oatcakes. And my goodness, aren't they amazing? They're such a great little snack. So there you have it, curd nerds. That's how you make Crowdie, and that's how you make the traditional oatcakes. If you want the full recipe for the oatcakes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the recipe that Angie did on her channel to the description in this video, so you can check it out. I'm not going to repeat it here. They're fairly simple, so go and check out her video. Anyway, thanks Angie for these recipes to satisfy the needs of the curd nerd community, because there's been a lot of people asking for Crowdie. Now, before we go, how does it taste? Well, I've got some oatcakes here with some Crowdie on top. You would have seen that at the last minute I put some garlic chives in, because I read online and I'd watched a few other Crowdie videos, that they'd put some wild garlic, which I think is very similar to garlic chives. So anyway, it smells amazing. The oatcake is quite firm. We did have them in a container overnight and they went a little bit soft, so I just put them back in the oven for 10 minutes at 180 Celsius, and that firmed them up and they've gone hard again, which is great. Not so hard that they're going to crack my teeth open, but hard enough that they're like a biscuit again. I've got a bit of Crowdie on top, so let's give it a go. Let's see what it tastes like. That is amazing. The herbs all the way through, beautiful flavours. You can taste the garlic chives, a little bit of the parsley, definitely the thyme, a little bit of the rosemary as well. I left it overnight to infuse, so I didn't have the Crowdie straight away. I waited for all the herbs to infuse through the cheese, because other than that it was kind of a dry, not dry, it's quite moist. It was a blandish sort of cheese, very similar to sweet ricotta. Anyway, this is lovely, salted perfectly. I put quite a bit of salt in it because I was tasting it all the time as I went along, but I think I've got a winner. And those oatcakes, they're delicious. They're a little bit dry, so always try them with something on top. I've been told that peanut butter goes well on them as well. Any sort of creamy dip, or obviously Crowdie, anything like that. Even cream, if you want to make a sweet one, don't put any salt in the oatcake. But yeah, oatcakes with Crowdie on top, absolutely delicious. Well done, Scotland, is all I can say. Let me just finish this last bit off. That's delicious. 2 thumbs up. Now, for those who don't know, I actually have some Scottish roots. My grandfather on my mother's side was a Campbell. Now, I don't know much about his heritage at all. In fact, I don't even know when he came to Australia, or so when his family came to Australia, in whenever it was, 1800s I think it was. Yeah, 1800s is when they came across. He was born here in Australia, so his parents had come from somewhere in Scotland, so not sure, because I don't remember him actually having a Scottish accent. So there you go. So we've got some Scottish heritage in us, and yeah, it feels good to be getting back to my roots. So very cool. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds. You can make this cheese very simply with probably all the ingredients you've got in your own home. There's not much to it, as long as you've got some lemon juice and some good quality milk, and you can try that out. Now, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so you get notified of more cheesy videos. And if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Well, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next time.